What's this? Oh, a $2,000 video card? Sure, let's do a teardown. If you haven't seen the previous video, I recommend you go watch it because it's quality content. But this is a Quadro FX 4600. I bought a lot of two. This one did not work. The DVI connector is pretty beat up. And, I mean, if I can find an obvious reason that the rest of the card doesn't work, like a cap that's just snapped off or something, I'm going to try and fix it. Because I want to get my full $32 worth. So, I mean, one of these cards goes for about $25. So, technically this only cost me $7 extra, which is not worth the price shipping it back, and I got a $10 refund because this card didn't work, despite both being advertised as working. So, I feel fine about doing this. So yeah, basically it seems like it's working. It boots up, but then the fan just goes to max and I get no video out. Very common symptom with a broken video card. So with these older cards, there often is a way to fix them. This is a bit too new for the super old card classification though. That's like, you know, late 90s, super early 2000s, like Radeon 9000 era. And like pre-GeForce FX is what you're going to be looking at. And yes, GeForce FX and Quadro FX are different. Sorry if you can hear the PC in the background, it's installing some sick Windows updates. That's the PC that has the working one of these cards in it. And I'm going to try and do a bit more with it than I did last video, because that was just really lame. I ran 2 benchmarks and tried to load Cinema 4D and it wouldn't display correctly. So it seems logical to start with the bracket, because I want to get a closer look at that DVI connector. And if the card ends up working, I will probably just clamp this. What is holding it? Oh, there's another screw here. I will probably just put this bracket in a clamp, or I could just close it in a door, actually. Like, just stick it in the door frame and close the door, and it would flatten out that metal part at the end so that it actually fit into the case properly. So, wow. That part is supposed to be bent. So don't comment, oh, it's bent. Yeah, something tells me it's not supposed to look like that. And that's after I bent it back as much as I could, just with my fingers. But my little fingies don't have as much leverage as was needed to repair this absolutely, basically a terrorist attack on this bracket. Like, that was some serious force. So I think... Are there screws down there? Yes, there are. Okay, I don't really know where to start. I think, so I can get a look at just the bare card, I want to take off all these little metal pieces around the edge. Now, a lot of older workstations have pieces in the front of the case that these slot into to prevent GPU sag. That's much less common nowadays. But, for example, my HP Z620 workstation, old reliable from back in 2012, has those because it was designed for the series of Quadro after this, which was actually even longer and even thicker and heavier. Please do not take that out of context. And then I think, yeah, the only screws left are these. Then I think our next step is just going to be the cooler. So I'll try taking out those. And I think the screws on top of the cooler just hold the pieces of the cooler together. They won't actually help me get it off of the video card. Oh, so it's got those, like, things that go into the board. How intriguing. It doesn't look like there's any, like, actual PCB parts near it, so it's fine to just snap it off like that. Looks like a gun part, not a video card part. Oh, that's cool. It reflects. It's reflecting in. Oh, never mind. That's my keyboard light. I thought it was like picking up spectrum from the overhead light. Wow, look at those thermal pads. They look like someone stepped on them. It really is a beautiful card. I wish it had all the letters on it. I wish I didn't have an NVIDIA Quadro, but you know, hey, can't complain. It's just so heavy. Like, I keep coming back to the fact that it's so incredibly heavy. If I can't get this card to work, I was thinking of painting it with the, like, Unity missing texture pink and black squares. That seemed like a really fun thing to do. Like, not the entire card, but just the cooler. And it'd be ironic and funny because this is a workstation card used for CAD and workstation things. Like Unity. That would be another interesting thing to try on this card. Good old Unity. Now, once we get all of the pieces off, I'm going to talk about the layout of the PCB and then the layout of the cooler. But for now, we've just got a nice teardown montage. Now, I am no expert on PCBs, but just from where things are, and from watching too many Gamers Nexus videos, I kind of know what I'm doing, and from years of, you know, hobby electronics. Look, we have so many little screws around where the GPU is held on, or where the cooler is held onto the GPU die. It's amazing. Okay, that feels like more than just thermal pads. No! Oh, wow! Look at that die! Holy... God damn. Bro, what? It's literally Game Boy cartridge size! What the hell? No way. Okay, that's a huge die. Sorry, I gotta take a picture of that real quick. Okay, now that that fun is over, wow, that kind of just like made whatever else I say in the rest of this teardown really uninteresting, because we've already seen the die that is just so freaking huge. Wow. That is ridiculous. I've never seen one that big. Like usually they're maybe that big, the actual silicon. You know, some of the older ones are like that big before we could put a ridiculous amount of transistors on. I mean, that's just the metal surface. That's not the silicon itself. I don't know what's under that IHS. Actually, I'm going to clean that off because I'm curious. And I might as well clean the rest of the card to get it looking good, even if it doesn't work. Because I'm like that. Does it say anything on it? Oh wow, that's dry. Haha, NVIDIA logo. Look guys, it's who made it. Okay, so there we've got our die number, G8850A2. That's our revision. And we've got green Sharpie on it. That's kind of cool. The die, I just can't get over the fact it's like a sixth of the size of the card. That was not a good idea. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Okay, that does not come off as easily as like a small heat spreader or something would. I'm going to have to look more into delitting this because, or if it's even possible, I want to see what is under that. And does this metal big metal ring come off. I mean, yeah, I still have one of the screws in it. So, because the screws are that short and just go to the ring, not the cooler itself, I assume this is detachable. Sorry, I moved the camera a bit because it was almost filming the floor. Interesting. You can see the traces of the board have pressed into it a little bit. Here, sorry, let me refocus on the die. The traces of the board pressed into whatever that is. I'll get a close-up. Yeah. Oh! So you can see under the metal piece the actual, like, edge of the chip. There are the balls. The solder balls. Wow. So, the chip itself is, like, that big. Yeah, I don't want to damage it. It's a work of art. Get out of here. So, now what else can we do? I forgot everything else I was going to do because that was just so awesome. Let's see, I'll clean the thermal pad debris off of this. Oh hey, whatever this is, has a little NVIDIA logo on it. I'll have to zoom in so I can see it as well. That did not help much. If anyone knows what that does, please do let me know. I would be mighty intrigued to know. We've got pretty decent power delivery. I'm not quite sure how many phases it is, but let's see. I know that each of these little chips down there, I forget exactly what they're called. I'm just blanking. But these are, you know, what actually carry the power. So I think it's, you call that what, 4x3 or something? Power phases? Because it's got 4 banks of these 3. And then shunt resistors, I believe, is what these are. Please correct me if I'm wrong. These, like, purple line capacitors are used on pretty much every old video card and, you know, anything that goes into PCI or PCIe slot from the early 2000s probably has this Panasonic SVP series capacitor on it, like this exact series. They are so common. Of course, we've got our DVI port. I'll see what I can do about that later. On the back here, you've got, not sure what those are. Capacitors probably for power delivery. That's like the power controller, as far as I know. And just 2 little transistors. Oh. And it looks like this one directly corresponds. Yeah, it's on the flip side of the board from that one. Probably, oh yeah, and this down here is power circuitry for this chip. Again, if anyone knows what that is, please do let me know. SLI fingers and the, crap, I'm blanking. What's it called? SDI, not SLI. This is SLI, this is SDI. SDI being the video input and output. It's basically just composite. Or component. What's it? It's the thing that goes into the TV. Basically B and C. But you could buy these SDI boards for the Quadro, which, by the way, would bring the cost of the card up to $6,000, up from a measly, meager, peasantly $2,000. But you could get those SDI video in and out. So that's for stuff like SDI cameras. You know, straight to your graphics card, and it would link through the DVI port. That's how that worked. Let's see. Goodbye. That was not as violent as it sounded, I promise. It sounded like I dropped it. Let's see. Alright, gamers, it's time for the heatsink. Well, first let me just feel some of these crusty... The dust from someone else's house. Or warehouse, I guess, where this sat. Let's talk about how this is solid aluminum. Well, is it aluminum? I'd assume it's aluminum. Here, let me grab something magnetic. Why didn't none of my hard drives still have the magnets in them? There we go. Yeah, that's aluminum. If the IDE drive doesn't stick to it, it's aluminum. And of course a copper cold plate and a bunch of heat pipes here. This one's probably nickel coated. The one that I'm kind of pointing at here. It's nickel plated copper, likely. And they just did that to color match, because it wouldn't make sense to make one of the heat pipes aluminum and the rest out of a different material. That would probably raise manufacturing costs. Here, I might have to use the cursed extender here. All it does is make the top of the screwdriver floppy and imprecise. Wow, this is the worst thing I've ever used. What? Why? Why did they make this? Okay, me just putting the bit in there and twisting it with my fingers seems to be the best. Okay, we got it. So now we can finally get a good look at those heat pipes. That's something I didn't put in my Cinema 4D model, because that just would have taken too much time. Wow. And I mean, it's a beefy lad. Heat pipe. Singular. No, I was correct. There's, 1, 2, 3. This being the longest one. So yeah, perhaps they are different materials. Wow. Yeah, that's a massive freaking cooler. Of course, on the back here, that's where your memory is, that's where your power delivery is, and that's where that mystery chip is. And that's where your giant die goes. I think, yeah, there's really nothing else I can do with this. Is that the issue with it? I'm just noticing. This chip on the back looks very bent. Here, I'll zoom in. This appears to be at an uncomfortable angle. And it looks like a couple of the pins might have broken. That could be the issue. Yeah, that wraps it up for this video. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope the eBay seller doesn't change his mind and require a return, because I am not looking forward to putting this back together if so. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time.